Hey everyone! I know it's been a long time since I last made a video. It was like May-ish. My only excuse is I got overwhelmed with the idea of making videos. I always like the idea of making videos and I like actually editing, but I just get mentally overwhelmed. I burn out really easily, I guess, especially at the end of semesters and everything. This whole year I'm kind of hoping to get back into videos, and you'll see more later. I'm going to be doing a road to PhD because, as you guys know, as I mentioned in my COVID university or isolation university, that's what it was called, that I was going to get my PhD. Well, I'm now at the point where I'm going to be qualifying for as a PhD candidate, and so I want you guys to follow along with me as I work on that, as I go to conferences, as I start really getting into the thick of being a PhD student. Along with that, I still like doing makeup. Occasionally, you guys would see me do that with the previous weekly vlogs. I bought, when they were on sale, 3 of the ABH Cosmetics birthstone palettes. And I was I looked at them now and I'm I don't know what to do with them. I'm not as good as Angelica. So I'm okay, let's do a project pan sort of thing. I mean, I kind of project pan things a bit, but because I did the numbers, I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. A lot of eyeshadows specifically, so I'm doing a pan those eyeshadows based off of work that was done by Alexandra. I'll link her in the description because she was the one who came up with this. Rebecca Morgan, Too Much Tash. I saw all of their works, so now I'm going to do my own version. And so my goal for this year is to hopefully hit pan in every single shadow in my Sultry palette. Currently I have pan in Flesh. Sorry, I'm figuring out how to do this with that. So that's not really going to count. Everything else, I don't have it. So my goal is that I want to, by the end of the year, hit pan on everything, because this is one of my, it's not my oldest palette, but it's one of my older ones, and I just kind of want to get it out of my collection. Not that I don't love it, but it's just, there's other stuff I want to play with. The rest, and then I have all the others in my collection also. So my plan is to do 1 shadow from the Sultry palette and just rotate through there, and then do 4 shadows from my others. And I like the idea of having this these shadows I can use, just so I'm okay, I plan on getting up early-ish in the morning. At one point I thought I was going to have to TA for an idiom, which I'm I'm not a morning person at all, but the goal is to have these shadows ready to go so I can maybe have a makeup look on when I go to teach or when I go into the office earlier in the morning, and not have to worry, be just sitting here being what do I do with myself? What should I do? So this is my goal, is to do that. So if we're looking at specifically the eyeshadow palette for Sultry, there are 14 shadows in it, and yes, I'm including the one I do have pan on already. So I've got the Pretty Random app up here. Sorry, I'm still not used to using it like that. And so if I'm going to randomize 3. So that is Steampunk. So it is this shade right here. And it's a gold shade. It's really lovely. It is a very true gold shade. I'm worried that because I have the Milani's Gilded Gold, that if I get something similar, I'm going to keep with this one, because that's my goal, is to hit pan on this one, because like I said, it is one of my older ones. And I kind of also am approaching things from most of the time, I think if I get 20 uses or something out of an eyeshadow, I can roll it out, because it's easier, not easier, but I have actually used it. I'm using the products I have spent my money on. So the other is I have 144. So we're going to do that. We're going to randomize. Let me 15. So we got 15. Let me write that down. I have them all in a spreadsheet. There was 144, which I was of just besides the 14 from Sultry, which was kind of crazy. $13, so same palette. I mean, that's actually kind of one of those interesting things with the random number generators. I had somewhat thought almost of using MATLAB instead, just because I have it set up to randomize 112, so a little different. I think that's probably going to be maybe one of my newer ones. I don't know. 132. That is definitely one of my newer ones. And yeah, that's it for these. I will come back later with swatches of all of the shadows. So I'm back. I have all 5 shadows. First things off, one of the shadows that I had pulled was from the Milani Gilded Gold. It's actually literally what I mentioned earlier about having the same colors I was worried about. So the one that was the same was 112 is this 24K. This 24K right here. I took a swatch of it, right here versus the Steampunk. That's not gonna work. They're too similar. So I re-rolled and I got instead Maraschino from Main Squeeze. So that is what this one on the bottom, is. So it's kind of an interesting color palette generally, because right here we've got Steampunk from the ABH, as I showed earlier. This next one, so these next two are from the same palette. This one is called Blaze, and this one is called Gilded. I know, it's kind of confusing because this one is from the Gilded Gold, but this is Gilded. It's much more of a rose gold. This one is called Blaze, it's more of a bronze. And then the only matte in this combo is from the Peridot from BH Cosmetic, and that is called Outgoing. So it's, most of this color story is very warm, and I didn't mention where those other two were from. That Gilded and Blaze are from the Dreamland. This is something a friend got me for Christmas. And then the two shades are Gilded, and then this is always hard, Blaze. So I'm curious to play around with this because I haven't really played around with this. I usually was working on my like Sultry, or I have a couple of like Too Faced or other things. But this is kind of fun to like work with these. I will say that the one Blaze kind of reads as a matte. Like I think I could probably use it in my corner, in my crease. I could also do a fun color story with both the Maraschino and the Gilded because they are that pinky tone, and I could throw in stuff from Sultry so I could still get that use in. I'll take photos. I'll also take a better photo of the shades in a bit. But that's it. I kind of will try to update it like once a month. Next month I'll probably try to be like on top of it, but also all of my schedule's gonna get weird. Will be probably weird until I qualify. I still want to be able to do this, so that's why I'm even starting it. But yeah, it's going to be a crazy period of time. I will probably explain more in another video about all the things that I need to do, and who knows, maybe I'll do videos about my research. I humorously, for the Nerdfighteria census, had said, hey, for Crash Course, if you guys want, let me teach materials engineering. I'm getting my PhD in this. I would be a great person. I want to also, while I don't want to be a professor, I'd like to be an educator in this. I think it's something that is really a calling to me. So yeah, and that's about it. Who knows? My plans are to generally have 2 videos up a week. One in my road to the PhD, the other just whatever I decide is pertinent with my life. I'm trying to get a hold of my life a little bit more. The last year has been rough. I joke to myself this semester's going to be a lot better because I'm not, at least I don't think I'm going to get a call, like the same kind of calls I was getting at the beginning of the last semester, so it should be all fine. I know I'm bobbing around so much, but there'll probably be some clean with me's because my apartment is always a freaking mess, and probably more makeup looks. I know this is kind of a little messy, but I had done my makeup earlier today. I had worn a double mask because we're still in COVID, but yeah. So here's a better image of the swatches. Going from the top, we have Steampunk with 24K right next to it, then Blaze, Gilded, Outgoing, and Maraschino. And yes, I know my arms are quite hairy. Just filming an outro. So thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications. I know that's all the normal comments that people make, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.